Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you're all doing well. I have a completed journal here. This is for my Tracie Fox Creative Design Team project for November. And I did use the Compendium MK7, which stands for Mark 7 Vivid Florals VF kit. Absolutely gorgeous kit. So I had a lot of fun making this. I thought I would find a whole lot of my notelets and letter writing sets. I've collected so many of those from the secondhand shops and use a lot of that in here for pages and extras. So it was great to get using up some of my stash as well. So it is, as you will recognise, an old Reader's Digest. It's about the best one I've ever found, the cleanest and nicest. But I did put some corners on, just your metal book corners, because the corners were getting a little bit beaten up. And I've just done some, this was from a tablecloth. So I've just cut that out and stuck that on the front. Took me forever to figure out what I wanted to do with the front, but I didn't want to cover up the beautiful pattern from the book. So I kept it quite plain and then just stuck that on the front. I have a leather journal plate there. If you've been watching me, you'll know I've recently got some leather dies and that, and I've been having a bit of fun trying to work out how to use those. So I've got one on there with some brads, and I did some stamping for the word there. Now on the spine I have a dangle, which is another one of my leather pieces that I've cut. I'm just using up scrap leather that I was given, so it's a good way to recycle it. And I have stamped the word flower into that with leather punches. And then I put some gold wax on it so it stands out a bit more, and I love it. It says flower. So it's 5 signatures, which I've sewn in with your 5-hole pamphlet stitch. And I've decided to leave it plain here. I was going to cover it over with the doily or something, but I really like the colours. And I think it looks quite nice. Doesn't bother me that you can read the spine. So I thought I'd keep it like that. And the back is just plain with your book corners. So I've inserted eyelets for the closure. And I ended up using, I have a box here with closures. So any random thing I find that might be a good closure goes into this. And I had this. Not quite sure what it was. I don't think it was a necklace, but it had a couple of shells and some wood beads on it. So I cut some of that off to make the closure. It's a little difficult to get it sitting pretty when you tie it, but I just really like it, so I was determined to use it. So just untie that. So there's heaps of room with those for it to bulk out a bit, although I have made it a little chunky, which I'm not very comfortable with when it comes to book covers. But that's all right. There are a few things in there you could probably take out if you want to make more room for yourself. So we'll open it up. I have no idea how many pages. I think I did about 9, between 7 and 9 pages, whole pages. So times that by 4, you're looking at like 28 to 34 or something in each signature. So that's a lot really, isn't it? Anyway, something like that. So I've been able to reuse the book plate that was in this book because it hadn't been used, which was awesome. So I've cut that out and stuck it there with beautiful butterfly applique. I've used a lot of this lace because I have a stack of it, and it's vintage. And I just love the colour on it, so I've used that. So yeah, beautiful pages from the kit. I absolutely love these. As usual, had a lot of trouble covering them up with anything because they're just gorgeous. So, and I did want to highlight those, so I've used them to start off all of my signatures. And there's a pocket. So I've added, I had fun last night just sitting down with my scraps that I had and just sticking them in places, which is something I really love doing. So in this pocket I've got one of the tags, so it's just plain, and I've just added a topper there. So heaps and heaps of writing space. This is definitely a writing journal. And then one of the cards that I had. Now, yes, it is still a card. So I just have so much of this sort of thing. And it's taking up a lot of space, so I thought I would use a pile. That slips in there. It's one of my notelets. I made in another video a whole lot of these little scrappy embellishments with my fabric scraps and these beautiful ribbons that I've got, the trims. So what I will do is link below any of the videos that pertain to the items that I have put in here, in case you want to have a look. Another one of my notelets. Just goes so nicely with the colours in the kit, I found. And I wanted to keep this clean and colourful, so I haven't done much inking or anything at all. Now, I also used some, I think they were 1940s, 1950 gardening magazines, and I have used a lot of the adverts out of that to embellish as well as kit pieces. So it's an envelope, and it has one of the tags in there. So it's definitely a journal that whoever gets can make it their own still. And there's a lot of space to do things. I have some of these beautiful cards. I had to add some of those. Again, the colours just go so beautifully with the kit. These avocado dyed doilies. Vintage magazine. Love the colour on that. Goes really nicely in here. And it's your fleur de lis. Oh, that would be the pattern, wouldn't it? Whatever this is, your lace stuff that you can make. Got some of your vintage botanical pages. And this is what I mean by I just grab offcuts. But I love it. It's a good way of using bits up. Another one of my notelets. And I've tied them all in with your embroidery thread. So this is a tag I made when I did a video on for this project. It's one of the big tags, and I used some of the beautiful floral trim pictures out of a vintage botanical book, and then lots of kit pieces on there. Another one of my scrappies. They worked out so nicely in this. I didn't even make it specifically for this, but they just turned out going really nicely, but they did add a fair bit of the bulk. Now, this is a tiny little page here, and I have just stuck an envelope over the top, and I haven't put anything in there, which is strange because I went through last night and put stuff in everything, but this was a late edition. I just love the envelope, so I had to add it. Isn't it beautiful? So that slips over that page, and then I just paper clip it on. The pages that I lined that are in here came from like school exercise books that would have been from about the 1950s. So they do have some discoloration, which is lovely. This is an envelope pocket, one of the tags from the kit. And I did do these on a video as well, little journal cards. Just added some ribbon. So I haven't added much to these pages, like I said. I do have some adverts on some of them. Just love the colours. Another scrappy embellishment. Another one of my cards. So this is the other part of the envelope that we saw before, and I've made that into a flip-out pocket. And it has one of these little cards in it, because I love the picture on it. And you can flip that open, and inside is one of the journaling cards. It's nice to sort of highlight these notelets as well. They go so nicely with the kit. And as I said, it's something I've been collecting and hoarding, and they bulk your storage up a lot when you have the whole set. So it's time to work through them a bit. One of the adverts, beautiful pocket, one of the tags, and I've stuck one of my scrappy embellishments on there. It's got a bit of bling, some sequins. Love that. I used a lot of my floral trim. And that is a top tuck, one of the banners. It's got another little notelet. Just some embellishments from the kit, advertisement, and scraps as usual. Got to make it somewhat junky, don't you? I hunted through all of my papers as well, the letter writing sets, and found beautiful colours. Oh, this is the other part of the envelope. Which envelope did I show you at the start? Goodness knows. Anyway, this is the other part of the flip out one. It's got this card, which is beautiful. One of Tracie's huge tags that I made. I haven't, you could dangle from that if you wanted to, but I haven't. I think it actually adds a nice embellishment sometimes without adding anything to it. That goes behind the envelope. So one of the pockets, another tag. Scrappy. This is the back side of a card that I had here, and it came with this pin on it, which this adds a lot of bulk, so you can take that off just to lessen the bulk in here. But it's been hanging around for ages, and I mean, I could stick it on the front of a journal, but then the card would be left with holes in it, so I thought I would just pin it in here for the recipient. It's the front of a little gift card, journaling card. Another one of the tags that I made. Just love it. Love these background papers. Another card front. Such a tuck. Yeah. I shall tuck another bit of my notelet paper in under there if I remember. Sure I can find something. Love these vintage botanicals. The colours are amazing. The only problem with this book was one side it was the right side up and the other side's upside down in some of the pictures. But oh well, you can't have everything. It's a tuck spot I made with one of the journaling cards, and it has another one of these little cards in there. Another advertisement. Another one of these cards. So you could use them if you wanted and send them to people. I haven't stuck anything on them. So you can also take them out and lessen the bulk. Another little scrappy. Heaps and heaps of writing space. And here's another one of my envelopes. So you can take the paper clip off, and under here we have this little notelet. And then in there is another little notelet. It's a thank you one. Now, to back the digital papers, I printed out some of my own dyed papers that I thought would go well with the colours. So that one's not upside down. It must have just been one of the pages or something I found that had them upside down one side. I love that. It's my favourite picture out of that book. I've found it so hard to part with this sort of thing, but it's if I don't, you know, what am I going to do with it otherwise? I'm not going to make them all these journals for myself and keep all the nice pictures. So it's about time I shared some of this stuff that I've hoarded. Love this little notelet, slips behind there. Now I did do a process video on these tags as well. And they have a tuck spot with an advertisement in them that you can use as a journal card. More doily. This is a printout of my avocado dyed paper, and these were avocado dyed doilies, so they go really nicely together. This is a thank you card. Isn't it beautiful? And then you turn the page and you've got an upside down one. It's very weird. See, that one's upside down too, and then that one's the right way. Isn't that gorgeous bud there? I wish they looked that pretty in real life. Another pocket with another one of the tags. It has a little journaling card in there. It's just the front of a card I had here. It's got a bit of glitter glue on it. One of the notelets. It's an applique I had here. Had to stick that in somewhere. I just love the colour of it. The only thing is when you go to write in here, you have to be careful because of some of the bulky items. So probably recommended to use a little writing board, just something firm underneath your pages. A bit of scrap ribbon. And then I just stamped out a handmade by and put my name on, which I don't always do, but I thought I would for this one because I had that stamp and I wanted to use it. So that is it. Flip through of this beautiful journal using the Compendium MK7 VF kit from Tracie Fox. Absolutely love it. So thank you so much, Tracie. And all of Tracie's links will be down below, as will the link to the kit that I've used for this. And I will also link the other videos where I've made the bits and pieces that have gone into this in case you'd like to have a look. So do take care of yourself. Make sure you check out the other ladies on the design team. There's also a link to them below, I should mention. And I will be on again soon. See you later.